From brain fog to hot flashes,
mood swings to mystery symptoms,
we're asking the big question. Can I blame it on menopause?
Join us as we share stories, laugh through the chaos, and talk about things women wish they'd known sooner.
It's honest, it's relatable, and it's about time.
Woo woo, it is about time. Welcome back, Lisa.
How good that was.
I know. So good.
I know, right? Look at us like professionals, even though we've been AWOL for who knows how long.
Well, I feel like we should explain that a little bit. Lisa was abducted by aliens.
Yes. And they brought me back because I'm menopausal and crazy.
Like, fuck this. No, but in all reality, our jobs, we work together, if you don't know, is weird. And our busy time is summer. And we did not account for how busy we were going to be this summer.
No. And which is really weird because we underestimated it, yet we've been doing it for a very long time.
Yeah, exactly.
We know better.
Yeah. But when you work with 20-year-olds, yeah.
Yes.
Our demographic is dealing with college-age kids. So, yeah, we should have known.
I know. It's true. And then there's just real life stuff, right? Family and summer and kids. And I mean, my entire life. Oh, yeah. Back to school for sure. My entire life is baseball. So we're back in baseball. We're in fall ball now. You know, we had an approximately 5-second long break. And now we're back.
Well, that's interesting. My life is, we have a lot of baseball too. We have season tickets to a AAA team. And this is the last week of their season. And it's supposed to rain all week. So I'm really hoping we get to go to some games.
Yeah, no kidding. I would not be. I would be praying for rain. But that's where I'm at in life right now.
That's funny. How many games do they have in fall?
Well, it's tournaments. So it's based on how many tournaments?
Tournaments? Yeah. They play them on the weekends, these tournaments?
They do. Now, I will say fall is different than summer. So at least in the summertime, like we had tournaments that started on Thursdays, which I think should be illegal. I don't understand how you charge people $576,000 for baseball and then expect them to take PTO every other week to come to the game.
I was just going to say, how does that work?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, so we have pretty good PTO benefits at our job. So for me, it was easy because I have the PTO and I could take it. For Jimmy, not as easy. So he burned through PTO pretty quickly, which is part of why he's staying home from Arizona. Because he doesn't have the PTO, because baseball was burning it. Like we were going through a lot of PTO. That's
not the only reason why he's staying home from Arizona.
No. He's pretty intimidated. He's tempted to send out a mass email.
You know who you are. All right, so let's dive into this, shall we? Because I know life and such. Oh, I had to take a trumpet to the middle school today because my kid forgot it. And this is the first time I've had to go to the middle school. And I felt like they knew I was a new middle school mom.
I feel like you can be sniffed out. I feel like I do that now to people. Like I see them and I'm like, oh, newbie. They're so cute.
Yeah.
Then that's a hardened veterans.
We're like, see what you want to do is.
We're like, this is how it actually goes down around here.
I know. I felt like fresh meat.
That's real. That is real.
That was interesting too. Like, this is off topic, but like we went to the whole meet the teacher night at the middle school and I didn't think it would bother me, but oh my God, it bothers me. Like my baby's not a baby anymore. She's in middle school.
I know. And see, in mine, even though she's the same age, she's not technically in the middle school building. So she's same grade, but our school structure is different here. So
it's so weird.
Yeah, it's actually going to change. They are changing it in another year or two. I hear different rumors, but I mean, it's not rumored that it's changing. It's just a matter of when. But they're like moving grades and like our district office, and so they are going to move the 6th graders to the middle school building. At this point, and again, way off topic, but at this point, I'm not sure how they would do it because I don't know where they're going to put them. But that's why I don't know about timing, because I'm sure they have to make adjustments with the buildings and whatnot. But they will eventually have them in the middle school building, but just not. She will probably be getting close to being done with the middle school building by the time that happens.
Do you remember, that made me think, remember in the 90s, and this could just be a thing too, I'm not sure, where like they needed more space, but they didn't have the budget to add on. So they had all those like
trailers.
Yes.
That was huge.
Yeah. They were all over
that here, I think, but not with my kids, but like my nephews talk about it. That was something that existed when they were going to school here.
Yeah. They were in our playground for so when I was in school, the grade school is right next to at the time called a junior high. And by the time I went to junior high, there was 2 of those in our playground.
Yeah.
I wonder what they did with all those. What do you think they did?
I really don't know. And they really were like mobile homes. And that's what it was like. I mean, you like went up the ramp to go in, and then it was a classroom. I mean, obviously inside, but in our elementary school, which by the way, I also went to junior high. That's what ours was as well. And our junior high was 7th through 9th graders.
So no, ours was 7th to 8th.
Yeah. So even though 9th graders were high school level in terms of sports and grades, you were still in the junior high building, which has changed since then too out there. But at our elementary school, they were also on our playground. They were just like right alongside perpendicular to our building. And it was only 5th grade. And then that was actually when you had like the special needs class. We called it SIL. And so that was before they had to do like the integration into the regular classroom for them. And they were in their own. And so one of the trailers for us was that class, and then 2 of our 5th grade classes. So there was only one 5th grade class that was in the building, and that's the one I was in. And I was disappointed.
Well, of course, because I just thought of that when you were talking about that. There was in high school, in my high school. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Timbo.
In my high school, there was one, and it was the health class and then a special ed class. After you said that, I'm like, yeah, you're right. There was that building. You had to walk out, and I remember going out there in the winter, having to walk between the buildings.
Mm-hmm. I never had to go in there for anything other than, and I don't remember what they called it, but I know with Emmy, they call it Recess Academy. It was when you got in trouble and had to give up your recess. So that's where we would have to go. It was one of the trailers. We
like detention, you mean?
Yeah, that's basically what it was, like a recess detention. You couldn't participate. Usually you got it because you were either like talking or goofing around in class, or you didn't get something done that you were supposed to have done. And so you would have to do that. And that was in one of those classes, in one of those trailers, I remember. So that was even worse because you were on the playground in a trailer.
And you could hear people playing.
You hear them all like playing and giggling and running around, and you're in the trailer like doing homework.
I was telling Libby about in what became, well, it was a junior high. They had to add an elevator to the building because there was a girl in my class who was in a wheelchair. So it was an up and down, a 2-story, what they're commonly called.
Words are hard.
It was an up and down. Anyway, it was a 2-story building, and they had to add an elevator.
Yeah.
And there was like this space between the elevator and I don't know, something else. So there's like this dead space. Mm-hmm. They ended up putting a door on it, and they would put kids in there and lock them in there, like if they were naughty.
See, that's some small town stuff. Like that's the stuff Jimmy talks about. Like what he got put in a refrigerator box here.
And I hope if anybody from my hometown is listening can confirm this, because I don't think I'm making this up. I'm fairly certain they put a kid in there and locked it. Is that crazy? Oh no, Lissa is gone.
Oh, am I gone?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, okay, I'm back. Hey.
Isn't that crazy that they did that?
It is.
And again, if anybody from my hometown is listening, please tell me I'm not making this up. I'm pretty sure it happened.
Yeah, that's like the refrigerator box. And that was primary school, by the way. So you're talking little kids. they would get put in this, like, they'd have to sit at the desk and like the box would get like, like, I don't know if it like went around them or over them. I don't know, but Jimmy had to do it, I think somewhat frequently. And he actually got forgotten about one time in the refrigerator box as a small child.
Everybody went home and they turned the lights off, and he's just
No, like he missed lunch. Like he met like
oh.
he literally like just got left in the box, and it was just like, oh dang, you're still here. Crazy.
Yikes. Poor Jimmy.
Real small town.
Doesn't get to go to Arizona, and he got put in a box.
I know. It's a rough life. He's led a rough life. But back on topic.
All right. The topic at hand.
That's actually really funny you say that about Jimmy, because that's one of the things I was going to ask you about today on this call, because I feel like there is so much with like the symptoms we have, right? Like there are the symptoms like we've talked about before, like the obvious like gimmies, like the hot flashes and the night sweats, not sleeping. Like everybody kind of knows already that that coincides with menopause. But like then there's like all the sneaky little other things that really could be middle age or weight or, you know, like all kinds of other stuff that we are learning really have a lot to do with our hormones. And I get frustrated with my husband, my wonderful, supportive, loving husband, because there are times when I feel like, and I'm in a moment right now, a moment that makes it sound so nice. And it also makes it sound short-lived, and it's not, spoiler alert. Like I've been feeling this way for approximately 8 or 9 days now, and I'm not sure when it'll end. But I begin to feel very isolated and like very lonely and like how I feel. And I'm just like, I am angry or weepy about everything. Everybody's getting on my nerves. Overstimulated is a big one for me right now. Like my brain gets very overstimulated, and I'm almost like I have to remove myself. And in my house, like it is chaotic and noisy. And I mean, it's just a constant. And normally I do very well with that. I'm used to it. But when like right now, I don't. And when I finally like open up or I acknowledge it or I try to verbalize that to him, he's totally like receives it and is there for me. But yet he's very much like, I think it's his way of trying to maybe relate to me to a degree. And so it's a lot, I met with a lot of like, yeah, you know, I get that. And oh yeah, trust me, I understand that. And I'm like, no, you don't. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't at all, because yes, obviously he knows what joint pain feels like. He knows, like he has his own issues and his own ailments and, you know, things like that. So it's not like I'm saying he doesn't get it at all, but it does. Like I found myself feeling very ragey over the weekend with him saying that. And instead of just telling him that's how I felt, I was getting like snippier and snippier with him. And until finally I was just kind of like, this is what I need from you. Okay. I do. Which, I'm sure really made him want to ooze with helping me.
I do get that way. And he would agree with this. I don't know, honestly, if you recognize in the moment what's happening. Like I know you feel overwhelmed and you feel overstimulated, all those things, but I don't know if you can like articulate it. Like I'm feeling this way, but I don't really know why I'm feeling this way. All I know is you're really pissing me off.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know if in the heat of it, you can explain that. Because after the fact, you can look back and think, wow, did I just freak out about that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, remember, deodorant still triggers me a little bit. Kids are all afraid to tell me when they need it now. So,
I mean, I think it goes back to like when you did get periods and you'd be like, why was I like, could eat everything in the house yesterday and like, I'm so ragey. And then the next day, you know, you get your period, you're like, oh, yeah, that's why. Because I don't think there is any physical evidence of these symptoms.
Agreed. And and with like a period, like the PMS window of time, I guess, for lack of better words, you kind of have an idea of how long that's going to be. Like and not saying that there's like a one size fits all for every woman, but just like in your own body, like you kind of learned after years and years and years of doing that. Like I knew I was with you. I didn't always recognize it like as it began because
Yeah.
I feel it's kind of like a silent assassin. Like it kind of comes in and creeps up on you and you don't really truly realize what's happening until you're already in the thick of it. Like now
Yeah.
you're just like you're spinning and then you're like, wait, that's weird. Like, why am I getting so upset about this?
I get it.
And then you're like, what is going on? And then, like you said, you'd get your period and be like, oh, duh, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
But with this, on top of the fact that, like I said, and we've established before, I had a hysterectomy. So I haven't had periods in 6 years now. So I don't have, not only do I not have any kind of physical anything, there's nothing that's going to give me any indication of like what's going on other than just being cognizant of my feelings or like what's happening. But I don't know how long it'll last. I don't know when the end in sight is to it, which at least with PMS, there was an end in sight. I knew that my period would come and that, or it wouldn't, and I'd be having a baby. But
I have had a lot of those.
I knew that was coming. And when that happened, that then all of the other things I was feeling would subside, that would start to get better, and then I'd be fine.
Yeah.
And so now it's like I said, I'm probably about a week and a half into how I've been feeling with like having all the symptoms, the lack of sleep, the hot flashes. I am like, I'm not even really ragey as much as I'm like just on edge. I think like I just feel snappy. So, like I just feel like I'm constantly just like, ugh, everything's just like irritating me, or I'm weepy. Like it just feels like everything could make me cry or like upset me. And, I've had like really bad joint pain, and nerve pain has been a big one for the last week. Has been like almost feeling like, and I have restless leg syndrome anyway. So
the Jimmy legs.
Right. Yes. And so that really ramps up, and it always did. Like it always ramped up with periods too. Like it's very hormonally driven. And I knew that already. So that's been really ramped up. And I almost feel like I could crawl out of my own skin. Like it's really like fidgety, and like I just have to keep moving, and it's brutal. And I'm not sleeping. Like I'm not sleeping even with sleep aids. I'm not sleeping. And I'm like, I mean, yesterday, I think my body gave in finally. I took a nap for like 2 hours, went to bed early, not slept consistently, but it felt like when I woke up this morning, I felt like I was coming out of a coma. Like how it felt.
Well,
And
I think that when you don't, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think my body just caved to exhaustion. I hadn't slept in days.
And I think not sleeping really compounds all the other stuff. Like maybe you wouldn't be so ragey if you were able to sleep. Maybe you wouldn't be so overwhelmed if you were able to sleep.
Agreed. I actually talked to another friend this weekend who I know. I have other friends. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean as much as you though. But this is not going to help the fact that I think there are people we work with that might suspect we're lesbians. So
is it because we share a room at every conference? We have to, by the way, we have to share rooms.
We do. We absolutely do. So I was talking to her, she's on HRT. And so I had questions because I don't know if I'm there yet. And I know we kind of talked about that recently as well, that I'm like, I don't know if I personally am fully like ready to go that route, but I am ready to start, I think, looking at some options because I'm now in year 2 of these feelings that are getting more and more intense and lasting for longer periods of time. And she said almost verbatim what you just did, that she said, I think you have to sleep. Like that is the number one, like you have to sleep. She's like, when we talk about all of the other symptoms that women experience, you have to think about where those are rooted and where they could be rooted. Not necessarily that they always are, but she's like, your brain fog, if you're not sleeping, that's a like no brainer. yeah, your brain's not going to fire at all cylinders. You're going to struggle to focus. You're going to struggle to think straight and rationally because you're tired. And she was like, talking about weight gain, because that's been a huge one for me too. And I've probably put on, I'm guessing, because I won't wait. I refuse to weigh myself because I don't need that too right now. I'm not doing it. But I have easily, I would guess that I've put on probably 15 or 20 pounds in the last probably 8 or 9 months. I can tell by the way things feel and fit and the way I feel. And I'm just like, but yet my joint pain's so bad and my exhaustion is so bad that it's really hard for me to push myself to like be active and to try to like, walk or by like bare minimum walk, like try to like get moving. And I'm like, and so that's been, I feel like I'm circling the drain on that right now. Like that's where I'm
a little dramatic.
And that's probably my hormones too.
I don't want to call you out, but I feel like.
But I mean, it is like, I mean, that's why I was telling her, like even the sleep, and she was like, men go get on, men get told your testosterone's low and they get put on testosterone. And she goes, and they don't think anything of that. They just get told by a doctor, you need testosterone. And they're like, okay. And they get on it for the most part. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
And my husband's on it. Her husband is also on it. And we were talking about that. And she said, women are not like that. Why are we not like that?
Here's my fear. Like we had this discussion and I said I was going to call my doctor. I never called my doctor because here's my fear. What if I go to the doctor and they say, you're not perimenopausal, you're just a bitch?
Can't we be both?
So there's that fear that I
agree with that.
Real symptoms, or am I really just a bitch? But I think they are real symptoms, and I'll tell you why. This is a great segue, by the way. Not even planned. I went over the weekend on a girls' weekend, my mom, sister, my daughter, and me. And I was in the middle of a hot flash. And like they were like, your face is red. I'm like, it feels like it's coming out of me. This heat. Like it's like my arms felt like, but I was so hot. And then they became so cold. So it's like, how do you have these in your real life with people who don't want to go into hyperthermia? You know what I mean? Like, how do you do that?
That's a good question, because that's exactly how I have been feeling. I'm noticing that I have restructured the way I phrase this, because I used to just come into the living room or get in the car or be in a store and go, oh my gosh, it's so hot in here. And now I always say, oh my gosh, is it hot in here to anybody else?
I actually was today thinking about, do I need to switch to a men's deodorant? Like, I don't feel like the deodorant that I'm wearing works anymore.
Okay, so I want to touch on that for sure. Like I'm going to try not to squirrel right now. We have to get back to that because I have a legitimate thing I was going to ask you. But I was laughing on Friday when you texted me and you were like, I'm having a hot flash in a hotel room and freezing out my entire family. And I had literally just melted down about how ungodly hot it was in our car on, that was like what, 8:30 at night, something. I don't even remember what time.
Yeah. I was surprised you were still awake.
Same. I was even out. Imagine that. I wasn't even at my home.
Oh my God.
So we're driving home and it ramped up into being angry that it was this hot in September and that it was that late at night and it shouldn't be this hot. And I blast the AC because I did not think it was a hot flash at first. I thought I was just hot, because that's the other thing I've learned is that we always thought like hot flashes equal menopause, and that's just a symptom, and you just get hot once in a while and whatever. First of all, way underestimated, like you just get hot, like you feel like you're on fire,
right? Like inside out.
Yeah. So totally different. But I also did not realize the inability to like control your body temperature, like that kind of coincides with that it's not just the moments of hot flashes themselves, but it is like the inability to like my thermostat's broken. Like I am either like hot or cold. I'm very rarely just
Perfect.
comfortable.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't help matters that we're in the middle of the country where right now it should be about 20 degrees cooler, and most places have already turned off their air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that this weekend we were going in and out of shops, and it's like, it's freaking hot in here.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just me. Because, it's not
Right.
supposed to be 89 degrees in middle of September here. So that doesn't help.
No, I would agree with that. And like even my house has been similar, like where I have
Yeah.
my air on, and in the daytime when it gets hot, it runs and that's good. But then like at nighttime, it doesn't kick on as much. So
Right.
cooling off. But yet, like the other added issue with that is like I have a house full of people with allergies, myself included, in the fall time. So like having the house open at night isn't always an option either.
Yeah.
So, it's like the battle, like you said, like the seasonal battle to try to kind of keep things comfortable. So there is an element of that is not hormones. Like that
Absolutely.
is
And I just read a headline. I didn't read the story, so don't quote me. But supposedly it's not good for you to sleep with a fan on at night. Well, I have 2 fans on me at night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was
We have the
thinking
ceiling fan, the ceiling fan, and then I have a small one on my side of the bed.
yeah.
And I'm refusing to read the story because I'm like, if you take those away from me, what am I going to do?
What am I going to do? I'm already struggling to sleep, and now you're going to take air.
Yeah.
I need air. And I have to be careful with that too, because Jimmy suffers from dry eye. That's part of his allergies. And so the fans aggravate that. Like he's got to be careful with like the air blowing on him at night.
Oh,
So I have to have my fan in a way that, our ceiling fan's going, and that doesn't, I don't think, bother him as much. But my fan,
correct. Yeah.
it has to be like really in a place where it really only hits me, that he's not really getting it. So I have to have it in such a way that to make that work. And yet I struggle because then it's like I don't feel like I'm always getting hit with it, or like I'm always getting hit with it the way I want to be, I guess. I don't know. You can't please me these days. That's where
Well, what really makes me mad is mine is on the floor and it is pointed up, and I get it in the right spot, and then I'll kick it.
Yes. Yes.
That makes me so mad. I forgot to take my travel fan with me on the trip. Oh, big mistake.
Yeah.
I have a little one like this big. It puts out good air, actually.
Those things are the best. We have them for baseball. We always take them to like clip on to chairs and stuff for baseball. And Jimmy has been pretty good, like when we've traveled together, to bring it so that I have it, which is good. But I suck at remembering to do that on my own. So if I've traveled without him, then I'm in the same boat. I forget it. And then I'm laying there, which is already hard enough in a hotel room or wherever I'm staying. I struggle to sleep in those places anyway. I've always struggled to do that. Now we've added like the extra layer of sleep trouble I already have, and I don't have air. And I'm like, it's not good.
No.
It doesn't bring out my best self, I will say. Not my best me.
Well, when you have to change your clothes 3 times in one day.
I mean, I'm already like, we're going to go on our trip in November, and there's already a part of me, I'm like, what am I going to do? I have to sleep with clothes on when I share a room with you.
Preferably, yes. I would like for you to do that.
Because again, wouldn't help the idea we might be lesbians if I don't.
No,
but I don't sleep in clothes because I get so hot at night that I can't. It's too hot. So I sleep. And again, I have to be careful. I have teenagers. So who know no boundaries, by the way. So like they will just, they know, I shouldn't say that. They know boundaries because they don't just come in. They always go, hey, mom and dad, from the hallway. Can I come in? And that's usually my signal to cover my titties.
So can we talk about my next topic then? That's a good segue too. Bedroom.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
My husband is here. He's going to be so mad at this. Hot flashes during sex. Am I the only one?
I mean, I have not experienced that myself. And I really hope I don't, because that sounds absolutely horrific.
Yeah, I was telling my mom and sister about it over the weekend because I thought, I got to tell somebody. I mean, I told you, but They looked horrified when I told them the story. It might have been a little too close. Yeah. But that wasn't fun. And it's happened twice.
That would be awful. I feel like there's already so much that has changed, and I'm gonna spare graphic details and those things too, but, like, just in terms of, like, even just energy and joints, like, that's already changed the landscape greatly of what those activities look like. Um, but I can't imagine that. Like, the hot flash, the just that kind of even just being hot, because that's already hard enough for me because I'm
Yeah.
hot. But I can't imagine that.
I just Googled it and it says it's common. It can occur during and after sexual intercourse. That's from
Unfair.
Dr. Goog. Yeah. Yeah.
That's unfair. Like, you already rob us of so much. Don't take that
It
from us.
says some women may experience them only occasionally, while others may have them frequently. And then that made us talk about if it's just at the end.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Or, like, because remember I said, is it from, like, the activity, like the strenuous part of it, like you're doing things and
It's not a trapeze act at our house. It's not a trapeze act. Not a trapeze act at our house.
No sex swing.
Yeah. Let's see. It doesn't say.
Because they probably don't know. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's a woman's symptom, so it gets less attention. But I'm interested if anybody else has experienced this.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I feel bad for you that you have experienced it. I have not. And I really hope I don't.
I didn't care for it. I did not care for it.
Doesn't sound like good times. It's a great way to ruin a fun time. Which honestly, I feel like menopause kind of does as a whole. Like, it just kind of comes in and ruins our good time.
It just keeps me thinking, like, I'm old. Like, when did this happen? I'll be 49 next month. And I just keep thinking, no, I'm like in my 20s.
Yeah.
But no, 49.
It depends on the day for me, because sometimes I feel like I'm 42 with a brain of, like, I think I'm in my 20s, with the maturity of, like, a 14-year-old boy and, like, the body of a 93-year-old.
But don't get up. Yeah, don't get up too fast. Don't get up too fast. Yeah.
Like, sitting on the floor, I've reached a point in my life now where, like, sitting on the floor is a conscious decision. You have to think it through before you
Yeah, because you have to remember, can I get up on my own, or do I have to call the fire department?
Right. You, like, survey the surroundings. You're like, what can I use to get me back off the floor when it's time to move?
And good God, why are you sitting on the floor? There's chairs. There's, God invented chairs. So
thank God. God invented chairs.
There's chairs for a reason. There's no reason to sit
away from today. Thank God there's chairs.
I refuse to sit on the floor, actually. That's not true. I have. In fact, a couple nights ago, I did sit on the living room floor because the dog took my spot on the couch, so I just sat on the floor. But it was up against the couch, so I could just kind of,
Yes. Well, or sometimes I want to lay down. Like,
on the floor? Are you crazy?
Well, no. I never want to lay down. I never willingly just want to lay on the floor. But, I have a lot of people in this house, and we have a couch, we have an oversized chair, and we have a recliner in our living room. And so it's like when everybody's hanging out, watching something together, or, which doesn't happen very often, believe it or not. But when they are, there's just very limited seating. And so I'm not mean. I'm not the mean old lady yet that comes in and goes, get up, let me lay here. So I just go. I mean, I will say, I will give my boys credit. They've offered, like, when I go to do it, they'll offer to get up and let me have their seat. But I'm like, no, you're fine. It's fine. And so I'll get on the floor. But I do it like I have to be somewhere I know that when it comes time to get back up, I will need assistance of some sort. So I have to be somewhere where either a person can help me or an object can help me.
That reminds me, we were at the grocery store a couple days ago, and they had oh, I can't say the name of it, can I? One of those creams you put on for like sore joints and stuff.
Huh? Mhm.
They had some on sale, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this.
Ooh, goody.
And I've actually used it twice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's real. I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Yeah. That's our
Um,
demographic now.
I know. I mean, and that's where I feel like the joint pain has been a big one for me. Like my hip has flared up again, which is kind of off and on anyway. And I did start taking collagen again because I was
What
like,
classes?
that actually took me a second. I was like, what? There's classes. And that's my collagen education network.
It was such a stupid joke. I'm kind of embarrassed, actually.
And we can't even cut it out.
You know, go on. You're taking collagen.
I don't know what I was saying. That's been the other thing. I've become the person that walks into the room and doesn't remember what I came in here for. I've done that twice just today.
Yeah, I don't remember stuff at all. Yeah.
That is really annoying when that happens. But no, there was something else. What were we talking about? I played a dangerous game with myself and said, I want to talk about that. But
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
up on it now.
Deodorant.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that was the thing I was going to bring up today was smell.
Get out.
All right.
Finally, all to myself.
I have had, like, I literally told Jimmy the other night, I took a shower late Friday. Okay. Took a shower, didn't do anything. Like, took my shower and then got dressed, put deodorant on, like, whatever. We didn't really do much of anything. I actually ended up taking a nap. Shocker. Fell asleep after work, slept for like an hour and a half. Also would have been prime time for murdering my entire family because I heard nothing. Emmy came in the door after school. Jimmy came home from work. I heard no things. I'm like, I had a kid leave for work. A lot of in and out of traffic in my house while I laid right by our port of entry. Dead to the world. But anyway, I was sleeping and then we got up, we went out to eat for dinner, went and saw said kid at work and got ice cream, and then came back home, had my hot flash on the drive home, and got into bed whenever that was. I mean, probably 10 o'clock that night. So, I mean, I'd probably, yeah, so you're talking like probably 8-ish hours since I had showered and put deodorant on. I had obviously had the hot flash. When I got into bed, sans clothing, because I can't do that with the clothing, I went to put my hair in a messy bun because I sleep in a messy bun every night because it's too long and I lay on it. And I could smell my armpit. And I was like, why do I smell like onions? after I've just showered and put deodorant on. And of course, Jimmy's so used to like my random outbursts and like things I notice. He was already in bed on his phone and he just went, oh, I don't know. That's all he said.
Wait, hold up. The fact that his response was, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he can't,
doesn't it?
He can't smell.
Oh.
So you got to remember that he already had issues with that, like with his nerve damage in his nose, and then he has long COVID. So like his smell got damaged. Yeah. After COVID. So he can smell something on occasion. He might catch a whiff of something. And sometimes he can smell something. If it's really bad, it's like really like punch him in the face bad. But like very rarely does he smell me. Like he can't usually smell my perfume or he can't usually like, sometimes he can smell me if I've just gotten out of the shower. And he'll say that. Like he'll be like, wow, you smell really good. And it's so weird when he says it because he never says that because he can't ever smell anything. So he can't really smell stuff in the house. Like there's just a lot of stuff. It's very difficult with him with that. So there is a benefit that I'm like, I don't worry. If I really smell like onions, he doesn't have any idea unless I tell him. But then I'm also like, I also don't have the safeguard of him being like, hey, you kind of smell like onions. So like, maybe we hit the deodorant again before we leave the house, or whatever.
But in all fairness, though, 8 hours is a long time. If you were outside in the heat and then you had a hot flash.
But I mean, I was outside in the heat, like what, walking to my car?
Fair.
Like, I mean, I
Fair.
really wasn't like, I really didn't do anything. And so I had noticed, and by the way, the deodorant I use is like the clinical, like 72-hour protection or whatever.
Yeah,
And
that's
like,
what I use, and I feel like it's failing.
I say that's wrong. That's not what it, I do not think it has 72 hours. I clearly maxed out before 8. So I'm like,
Did you,
I don't
did
know
you,
what's going on.
have you switched then to a men's brand?
Well, I haven't switched to men's. So I then switched to another woman's kind. And because I had happened to have it like on hand, like I think probably had traveled with it or something. And so I was like, I'll try that and see. And that seemed to do better. And so I was like, okay, and then maybe I just needed to do a different kind. But now I'm kind of like I'm burning through that too. And I don't know. And I could really get into TMI and say there's a lot of smells that have changed. A lot of things have changed in terms of that. And not always necessarily just bad, just different.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that too with my hormones. That's almost beginning to become one of my leading symptoms when I think my hormones get so out of whack. When I do just get like, I mean, I feel like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel right now, hormonally. Like I have no energy. I'm sure even on this, I've been all over the place. Like I feel like I have a hard time like following a certain like train of thought. I'm just emotionally all over the dysregulated. My temperature is dysregulated. Like it's crazy, but I've noticed that as a leading symptom that I start to notice that first, and I'm trying to pay more attention to that.
Have you noticed, like if you read something, you have to read it more than once?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Often, even like working, like
Yeah.
emails, like getting an email and being like, wait, what are they asking me?
Yeah. I'll get messages all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Right. Who is
And sometimes I have to read it out loud. I'm like, oh yeah, now I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's real. And I'm a reader, by the way. Like I was
Yeah,
always,
same.
yeah, I was a big reader, always had very good reading and comprehension skills. I'm like, that's one of the things I did well at in school. Like it's because I liked it. So I'm good at that stuff. Not now. Like I don't even know if I could actually sit and read a book now, to be honest, because I also feel like my focus and attention is really struggling. So to have to, and part of that is energy too, that I don't
Yeah.
even just sit and read, but I don't think I could focus long enough to do that now. Which is
So I used to sit outside on our deck all the time and read. All last summer I did that. I don't think I've finished a book all summer. I think I start a book, lose focus. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's just a book. Start another one. I probably have 5 books that I have started that are sitting around the house.
I know of 3 for sure for me that I've done that. That I'm like,
Yeah.
especially if it's a book I knew about and I was like, oh, I can't wait for that to come out.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered a book I was really excited about. I think I've read the first chapter of it, maybe. I'm not even sure, but the last time it was, I looked at it.
I have one that I really like. It's really good. And I don't know. Just couldn't get into it. And I think the last time I saw it was it got kicked under the couch and I haven't bothered to dig it out.
That's real.
I saw it, I'm like, I should pick that up. Like, well,
Eventually.
at least I'll know where it is. Like when I want to pick it up again, I'm like, oh yeah, that's under the couch.
Yep, totally. And honestly, I find myself doing that kind of thing more purposefully than because I used to be like, no, a place for everything, everything in its place. Clutter drives me crazy. Everything has to be clean. And now I find myself much more relaxed and probably because my give a damn in general is kind of breaking. So I think that's part of it. But then like energy plays a part in that too. But I think there is a notion of like, but if I move it, then I'm running a very, very high risk that I will not remember where I thought in that moment made the most sense to put it.
Yeah.
Because it will only make sense to me in that moment. I will never think about that spot ever again.
You know what's fun is getting a new car in this state because we got a new car recently, and I went to the grocery store, came out of the grocery store, was looking for my car.
And it wasn't there.
No, because we don't own that one anymore. And then I'm like, oh fuck.
You know, that's really funny is I did do that similarly when we got our car last year. And we still own the car I was looking for, but it was with Jimmy at work. Not at all where I was.
Well, I went from a black car to a black car.
Oh, that would be much worse. Yeah. We had the black one. I have a silver one now. But it's still just, it was habitual. Like I just walked out and was looking for, and I mean, the big black Expedition is what I was always driving. And then I'm just like, you don't just miss that. Like, it's not like something you overlook in a parking lot.
Well, the problem is, like, I don't know about you. Well, I think this is universal, actually. You always kind of park in the same space or same area.
Yeah.
And if that ever gets like where you can't because it's busy, that doesn't help.
That is true. Yeah.
Like, do you remember when you were younger seeing like women, probably our age now, wandering around a parking lot looking for their car? I'm sure that's what happened. They didn't get to park in their normal area.
Yeah. My mom called the cops.
She thought it got stolen?
Yeah. We were with her. Couldn't find it anywhere. It was on the other side of the parking lot.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, and she could not stop laughing. She had done that.
Well, nowadays, probably not back then, but now you can just hit the key fob and.
Oh yeah, that was 90s, right?
Yeah.
Like now, it is a lot harder, I think, to actually lose it. Like you just could be misjudging where you're at in the lot. But yeah. Then super easy. I mean, but I can still remember that. I remember sitting there looking all over, feeling panicked, thinking like, "Oh my gosh, our car got stolen."
Because was this in the 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody have like the white or silver Taurus? Like everybody had the same damn car.
They did, and we did not. We had a Cougar. That's what my mom was driving at the time. Yeah, and it was like I don't remember what color, like dark. It was like a navy-ish, like kind of an iridescent, like paint to it.
Fancy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was all right. It was, it was like a 2-door. Seatbelts only on each side of the passenger or on the back seat. Like middle seat was a hump with no seatbelt, completely unsafe.
Yeah, but some kid always right on that. Yeah.
Yeah. There was like 6 of us. Older kids held little kids. That's how we rode around in that thing. Like, yeah, definitely not safe.
But yeah, we were telling Libby about how when we were little, like Tim and I, when we were little, you'd ride in the back of a truck. Now, you put a kid back there. Well, first of all, I would never do that. I can't believe we were doing that.
Oh my gosh, my stepdad used to tell us, just don't sit on the tire.
Yeah,
that's where the safety line was. Like,
yeah,
sit on the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be on the actual truck bed, not on the tire.
I think we got the same story. Yeah, don't sit up there. No, don't sit too close to the tailgate.
Don't lean against it. He didn't want us to lean back against it.
Don't lean against the tailgate. Yeah.
Oh, the 90s.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I feel like we've covered some good ground today. Yes, we're almost 50 minutes in. I feel like we covered a lot of ground because we've been gone for a really long time.
But we're still here.
Bad things. Maybe they broke up. They don't want to do this anymore. Maybe they're dead.
No, they're just fighting for their lives. Okay, that was probably melodramatic too, but still here, still menopause.
Yeah, nothing's changed on that front. Hopefully not with anybody else either.
I know. There's still so much more to get into about it. Like, honestly, there's so many things. I'm discovering new things all the time. I feel like even in just my own symptoms, but also stuff I'm reading because people are talking about it, which is great.
Well, so I've noticed actually, yes, that more and more people are talking about it on all kinds of platforms. And I read somewhere, again, grain of salt because it was not a verified thing, that the reason why it's being talked about so much is because our generation grew up not learning about it from their moms, grandmas, and so we as a generation have kind of decided we're not going to stay silent about it. So I think that's why you're seeing it more and more.
Yep.
Maybe not
And
people.
Yeah, and that'll be something to get into later on down the road, talking about with our own daughters who are in the beginning of that and trying to like navigate that. And I want them to be,
absolutely,
know what this is like, what this looks like, because
yeah.
it's a lot of seeking out information, I think.
Yeah. I think this coming up podcast will probably have some actually information that we have looked up and researched, and maybe even a few guest stars. Because I was thinking we're going to Phoenix or the Phoenix area. I have a good friend that lives there who I think would be really good for this. I've mentioned to her before, and so you know who you are out there. Come talk with us. I think it'll be fun.
That's right. Join Bo and Bo. My gynecologist, I think he thought I was joking, but I also think he knows me well enough to know that I'm going to hold his feet to the fire. He said that he would talk to us.
So okay, but here's the caveat to that conversation. He has to be in the stirrups.
I like it. That's totally how we'll do it.
We'll go to his office.
I need you to put your butt down just a little bit more.
Scooch. Drop your knees. Drop your knees.
And then judge him if his underwear is not hidden completely in his clothes.
Did you not shave your legs?
I love it. I love it. I think he'll be down.
Okay, so I'll come down there. We'll go to his office. Stick the microphone.
Right. Now talk.
And give us some drugs.
Right.
We might get committed, actually.
The visuals, that's all giving me right now.
Yeah. Sorry about that. All right. I'll see you later.
Bye.
We're going to hit the end stream button now.
Hey, if you enjoyed the chaos,
hit subscribe, leave a review,
or text it to your group chat of women who are secretly Googling, is this normal?